Okay. Are we good with our translation, Helene?
Yeah.
All righty. Well, let's go ahead and get this thing rocking and rolling. Greetings and thank you for joining us on this May 1st, 2024 for the CCD75 Business and Calendar meeting. We will go ahead and call this meeting to order at 6:34 p.m. With that, I will hand it over to Helene. Can we please have a roll call?
Sure. Christy Angel.
Present.
Brisa Aria. Present. Jamie. Andrea
Present.
Oh.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah.
How
Andrea Daniels.
Present.
Christy Montavon.
Present.
Shanique Butler. Present. John Herman. Vanessa Borrero. Present. We have 6 votes. I'm sorry. We have 6 in attendance. We have 1.
Do we have, thank you so much, Helene. Do we have a council member that is willing to be timekeeper for this meeting today?
I'll do it.
Thank you so much. We're going to go for each of these sections. Let's not go more than 2 to 3 minutes, and then we can just go ahead and make sure that we actively are productive for the meeting tonight. As for the agenda, everyone has the agenda as distributed. Do we have any members that would like to add anything to the agenda? Hearing no additions, the agenda is adopted as distributed. The first item on the agenda is the meeting minutes for April 3rd, 2024. Has everyone, all of the council members, had the opportunity to review the minutes? If not, please do. We can go ahead and approve these minutes so that we do have them available for our constituents and for our parents, with the addendum of if there are any changes, we can approve them with changes from the council. Do any members have any changes, or we can leave that open for you to have changes? Hearing none, the minutes are adopted for approval for 4/3/24. The next item on the agenda is the culinary arts resolution discussion. Co-President Daniels and I have been having a few conversations. She did go to a meeting with CCHS, and we were aware, even though we have a separated budget from general education, we did hear some things in regard to the culinary aspect of schools with their budgets being cut, and we wanted to address this with the council in case District 75 was included. As we have further delved into this conversation, we are aware that our council, the budget, and our culinary program is not going to be affected by anything that does happen with general education. With that being said, Co-President Daniels, do you have anything additional to add to the discussion?
No, that was. I forgot. Sorry. I forgot. I'm sorry. It's my fault. No. That was my main concern. If it was going to affect District 75 as well.
Yes.
High schools in general. So I guess the district already reached out to you and told you the answer. I know you were speaking with them earlier.
And we always appreciate any council members and Co-President Daniels for if anything gets remotely flagged and you bring that to the council so we can just even double check it. We definitely appreciate that to make sure that we are keeping all eyes out and aware for our community. The next space is for committee updates. Let's see, does any committee that is available at the table now want to speak first? I will hand the floor over to busing, or to legislative? Co-President Daniels, do you want to lead the charge?
So with the busing committee, we set a date for May 21st for 6 p.m. to do the busing committee. We just going to address all the parents' concerns in regards to busing at this time. That's basically what me and Vanessa was discussing, and then it was a parent. You tell about that parent, that grandmother.
There was a parent who reached out to us and, her grandson doesn't have any buses in place at the moment. So we're trying to assist her as best as we can with that. His bus was abruptly cut. So we're working with grandmas trying to get it, working with it.
Okay.
And me and co-chair Vanessa Barbero, she also stated to me that she was having trouble getting into the email account for the busing. So we're gonna work on that, me and her.
Okay. Did you guys, was it what error did you receive as you tried to log in?
It didn't allow me to log in.
Oh, just be there. Oh, look at the TV.
All right. It didn't allow me to log in.
Okay. After this meeting, let me know because it definitely should let you log in, but let's just try to troubleshoot and make sure that you're okay, and Co-President Daniels to get in and access the account. I just want to go ahead.
That's it for busing committee for now.
Okay. I wanted to add, we've had about 200 more parents respond to the busing committee survey. It is live on our website. If you do have issues, it's a great way to respond to us to let us know. In addition, you can respond to us at CCD75 busing issues or D75 council at schools.nyc.gov. Councilmember Barrero and our co-president Daniels has been doing an excellent job in helping us move forward in those areas. If you could put that into the chat so that parents can see where to respond in case they need help. Additionally, we will go through with the 200 extra people who did respond to make sure that the busing committee does have that information so that they can respond to the feedback that was submitted. And now we will move into member reimbursements, and I will pass the floor to Co-President Daniels.
Oh, how about legislation, Ms. Butler said?
Oh, yes, I apologize.
Awesome.
We have many more committees, and I really skipped over that. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Legislative Committee Chair Butler, please. Apologies.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Recently, Assembly Member Al Taylor had a little powwow with Councilman Member Yusef Hawkins and Senator Curry. So I've been trying to go to events they have in Harlem so I can interact with them and tell them about what's on District 75. I'm to build a relationship with them, especially in Harlem, and then they can probably, chime in on our meetings. So I'm working on it.
Thank you. Are there any spaces where we can continue to support you in regard to different agendas or items that may be up for voting, and making it known that we are looking for members to join our committees? Any parent or advocate that is willing to support us and stand in support, please do email d75council@schools.nyc.org, and we will make sure to get you to the correct committee head to make sure that they can support you, your ideas, and you can support the council as well. The next, was that, I don't mean to overstep, Chair Butler, was that the remainder of your report?
Yes.
Do we have, I guess I'll just step in for outreach. We're currently working on a few updates that I'm really happy about in regard to our children. We're having a CSSID, forgive me because I do not fully commit and know the acronym off top. But Haylene, if you could put the flyer in the chat If not, I'll pull it up in a moment. But I really have a strong point as we are in outreach with our parents who need help with our children who may need behavioral supports, psychiatric support, mental health support. As parents, we have our children who are in the Department of Education up until 22. So coming up, we will have supports for you in home, supports for you with NYPD, with your neighborhood officers, with different spaces where we can support you from 6 to 17 and from 18 to 22. So our next, for myself, for outreach, CCSID will be on May 14th. We'll put that in the chat. And then we will be working on further information to help our parents of our older students. Because once we turn 18, things become different. And we want to make sure that you guys are supported in that space. Further information will be coming. Additionally, we are working on the awards dinner. The nominations and the link for that has gone out. We will send it wide to our parent coordinators and to our principals because we do look forward to your feedback in regard to who you would like to nominate and to submit to the council. As we're working, thank you. So, that's fine. You can pull CCS. I'll go back to that.
Something?
Beautiful. So just to go back, thank you, Haleen. For the committee for outreach, we said, do you need help with crisis intervention, crisis and behavior supports, and family supports? This presentation is going to be with YAI, and it's a START certified program. It provides crisis prevention and response for children 6 and above with intellectual and developmental disabilities who present with complex behavioral and mental health needs. This is covered by Medicaid, et cetera, Medicaid waiver. They have crisis mitigation, in-home supports, consultations, et cetera. So what we're going to do is have this bi-level where we're going to help you with our younger children and help you with our older children. We're hoping to have this situated before the end of May. If not, it will be in June. This has gone out. It will be on our website, and we will make sure that you can have access to it to be a part of the meeting. Additionally, we do have Co-President Daniels, did you say that we have that May 21st meeting? Did you bring that up?
No, I didn't.
So we have a May 21st busing meeting. So we want you to bring your thoughts, your ideas, your issues, anything that you've not heard back response on you need help with. We would like for you to bring that to the busing committee on 6 p.m. on May 21st. On May 16th, we will also have a safety committee meeting. I will hand that back over to Co-President Daniels to explain further about what the meeting will be on the 16th. You have the floor, Co-President Daniels.
So on May 16th, me and co-chair Lisa Arias, we're gonna be we have David Abrams from the director of travel training coming to do a presentation about the safety of travel training. So that's gonna be our first meeting for that. Unfortunately, that's our first meeting, but we finally got it together.
And in support of that, we want to be clear, we know that our children do need to be travel trained, and there's a lot of different levels and variances of travel training, who can be travel trained, et cetera. This particular workshop will be for children who, it's almost a pre-travel training. And if you cannot be travel trained, it will support you and your parents in giving you a certain level of awareness that you will need pre-travel training or in substitute of travel training. So thank you, Co-President Daniels, for delving into that and bringing that back up to the council so that we can make sure that we record that, have it on YouTube and as available resource for our parents. Additionally, for our awards dinner, I wanted to bring it up to the members who are here because I wanted to throw it back and forth to you guys really quickly before we check. Go ahead.
Interrupt, because I had this question previously. How is they picking the awards for the parents or whoever? How are they picking that?
Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to send the link that I sent to the district to the council, which is the link that we've sent before. And I should have maybe written this up and pulled it up. Thank you for asking me for clarity. We are going to have 40 awards. We're going to have 10 principals, and that's going to be 2 per borough. And everything is 2 per borough for principals, parent coordinators, parent advocates, and then we also have, I am blanking out, principals, parent coordinators, teachers. Forgive me, teachers. You matter the most. So what we will want is for council members to please submit your ideas and who you have worked with and who you know has been just an outstanding member of our community that we do want to say thank you at the awards dinner. And that's going to be 2 per borough for every category. The superintendent's office in the district has been extremely helpful, and they have given us their nominations for all of the categories. And we do want to make sure we uplift our member voices because you are boots on the ground. You work within your communities and you know who we should actively look at if we all do not know. So we want to make sure that you guys have a voice, we have a voice, and then we want to make sure that these nominations are closed out by May 20th. We can finish that on the back end on email. I'll make sure to send the link out to our members to make sure that you have a voice. But currently, the heavier weight for the nominations will come from the council. Then it will come from the principals, parent coordinators, and we will also have the input from the district. And then we can narrow down who our 40 members will be for award, and then we can move forward.
So the council's picking the parents, right?
The council does have the final say on the nominations. Yes,
All of them are just a parent piece.
all of them.
Okay, cool.
All of them. Okay. And so another piece of that, while we're talking, in using our budget, and I'll propose this because this is what I would love to do, and I hope the council is okay with this as well, and we can have a vote. With our monies that we will have the dinner. We have purchased the tableware, the flatware, the drinks and things of that nature. The only things that we're looking for is as a thank you, we're able to have a masseuse come and give massages. And so I'm looking at having 1 or 2 masseuses or having 1 massageist and I said massages, Lord, masseuse, and a 360 photography space, which is really fun. I think as we reward people, people should be able to have fun, be able to share their pictures, be able to have a little bit of relaxation. We'll have a DJ in addition to that. So I wanted to hear your feedback. What do you think about having 2 masseuses versus the 360 and 1 masseuse? Does anybody have any feedback in that regard? Would you prefer 2 versus 1? I know that we do have a council member that has stated there's a person they know that could possibly help us do photography. So we wouldn't necessarily need the 360. And we could do the 2 massage therapists, have the dinner, have the DJ, make a great relaxing and gratitudinal moment. So does anybody have any feedback there?
I have feedback.
Good.
I say, my opinion, I think it'd be great to have photography, just because it'll document the night. We can use the footage of the videos and the photos for the upcoming year. We can also share it with the schools and the people who are unable to attend.
What do you think in regard to, for the last 2 years, we've had everyone, there's also going to be a centerpiece where for outreach, I can create a QR code where everyone can scan it and then all of their pictures come to one place. And we can also have the photographer who may not cost us money to come from the budget. From the budget, I feel like if we can get the 2 masseuse and still get maybe a free photographer plus the QR code, which will not cost, then that might be kind of a cool thing. What do you guys think?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So I can lean more there. Does anyone else have any feedback with what she said?
This is for that.
The photography thing's fine, the masseuse, I think I talked to you on the phone about this, we wanna make sure we waste all the funds, I know, because, you know, June is ending, it's the end of the first term.
Say it
So
again. We
we
have
want
to make sure.
so all the funds in the budget are used by June.
Yes,
That's the end of the budget, the end of the term, the first term.
yes.
So if we could get the photographer, if we could get, like I was telling you, Jamaica's not here today, but she's excused. But
Happy birthday to her son.
if we could get her boyfriend, like I said, he had did the legislative breakfast photos to do it, or someone else to do it for free, that'll be covered, the photography part. But then we still have leftover money for free, so then we need two masseuses, I guess. That's what I was telling
And
you.
worst case scenario, if there is a council member, let's be honest, iPhones and Androids are great. Not that we want to be frugal, but we also will have council members taking pictures along the way as well. But we want to make sure to capture all of these moments. So what I'm hearing everyone say is the preference is for a photographer and two masseuse, or should we do photographer, 360 masseuse? I just want to be clear there.
Was it 360 again?
The 360 booth is a really big circular platform, something that you would see similar to the award shows on red carpets, where there's a camera that circles you all the way around and takes a picture of your entire body, of the entire group. And it's something that's really kind of fun. That would cost us about $450. Now, if we decided to do a photo booth, not a photographer, that would cost us $499. Within that photo booth, you can create like different fun screens. They have different add-ons, and you can do a lot of cute and cool things within the booth. Something else that makes it kind of fun. At the end of the day, I want us to have a fun event that says thank you. And so as adults, do we feel like the 360 booth is a little bit too much? It's like, get a photographer, let us be a little bit more appropriate. Or do we want to have a little bit more fun in the space that we do this awards dinner?
Well, I usually don't get to have fun because I'm working. Me personally, but for everyone else, what's your take?
I think it'd be good for your guests and, everyone who's being honored, and especially if they bring a family. If it's other events on the other sides being honored, that sounds like
They do get to bring someone.
But
Okay. So then what I'll do is, I'm sorry, am I cutting you off, Chair Butler? I don't mean to, apologies.
it's fine. Did you hear me?
I didn't. Could you repeat, please?
I said that would be a good idea for the event. I said the 360 machine is actually a fun thing. A lot of people like to do it. I had that for my wedding recently. But, I think that'd be good, a fun thing for the kids and everybody to share. I won't be here that day.
So then, so council members, as we move into this part of the budget, are we okay with doing the 360 and the one massage, or do we want, if we do two? Yes, okay. Do we want to take a vote on that, or do we have a consensus?
What you think?
No, I think that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, you wanna take a vote on that? Yeah, we take a vote on it.
Okay, Haylene, could we make a motion to have the 360 booth for $450 in addition to the masseuse for $340 for the awards dinner to be paid on the purchasing card?
Okay, I'm sorry, so all right, so the 360 booth is for $499, you said, for $490?
The 360 is for $450,
$450, okay.
and then the masseuse is for $340.
Okay,
She's interested in regular pictures too, but still do.
okay, all right, so the motion is to use the P card towards the 360 booth for $450 and the masseuse for $340. Christy Angel,
Yes.
Teresa Aria,
Yes.
Jamaica Collins, Andrea Daniel,
Yes.
Christy Montalban,
Yes.
Shanique Butler,
Yes.
John Herman, Vanessa Borrero.
Yes.
All right, 6 votes for yes, motion passed.
Thank you so much. Our final committee, unless there's someone else that I'm missing, please forgive me. For the annual report committee, we have sent out our survey in English, Spanish, Mandarin, and French. We are working on sending out Bangla, Urdu, Russian, and forgive me, we're trying to get all 9 languages. This will be done before the end of the week. All 9 will be sent out. For the first 4 or 5 that are available, you can see them on our landing page on CCD75.org. We do need your feedback. We do an annual report and we advise the chancellor and the district every year about things that can change, things that we need, things that can be adjusted. We need your voice. We need to know what you're experiencing in order to advocate for you. So we will be sending this information out again. If you do have the opportunity now, please do visit ccd75.org. If your language is available, please do access it so that we can hear you and support you along the way. With that being said, we will have an annual report meeting. Dr. Burton is actively working on the report. We have given her about 7 different levels of data. The district has been extremely supportive. We are now looking for additional information from family engagement from the district, in addition to data from the Office of Accountability and Inclusion and DAHAB, so that we can make sure to have a wide voice for all of our parents. In addition, what I noticed as a parent from home instruction, there is no place for home instruction or hospital parents to speak. That is not okay. So I have reached out to Deputy Floyd, who has helped us with FACE, who's put me in touch with the researcher that does the surveys. She did say that it may have to happen in another administration. Hopefully not. However, we are working on making sure that our home instruction and hospital families have a voice. With that being said, the outreach committee has taken the information from Central and created a home instruction survey, and that has been distributed just so that we as a council cover home instruction if no one else does, until they do. So that is where we have it currently. If there are no other committee updates, we can now move into member reimbursements, and I will hand the floor over to Co-President Daniels.
I need everyone to get in the reimbursement, hopefully in May, most of them instead of June. Cause if you do it in June, your reimbursements are definitely gonna be delayed, cause that is the last month for the budget and the term. So I'm working with some of them right now. They was ready to give me this stuff to sign, so we're getting some of it started over here. I know that John said he was sending his in sometime in May by email. I got confirmation about that. I'm waiting to see when Miss Christy Montalban gonna send hers. And Jamaica, I gotta ask her about hers. That's it.
Okay, thank you so much. So we want to make sure, being in all honesty, if you do not get your reimbursements in before June 30th, you will not be able to be reimbursed unless you pull that into the next year's budget, and it will take a council vote to reimburse you. We will, and we request that you have all of your reimbursements up to date given to Haylene by May 30th. And I might be overstepping because I do appreciate my AA. Haylene, is May 30th acceptable for you in regard to making sure that works? Yes? Okay. So our deadline for everything that is overdue will be for May 30th for council members. If you do need help, with e-signing, with creating the forms. Myself, Co-President Daniels, and our AA Haleen will be able to help you. We want to make sure that we do use our budget accurately and that we do have everything pulled in before end of year, because as you may not know, Haleen has a lot to do to assist our council to closing out our budget and to making sure we don't get audited. And we appreciate her there. And we want to make sure that we stand in support of her as she supports us. So let's please make sure everything that's outstanding is in by May 30th.
Thank you.
More than welcome, more than welcome. For the, we're moving on into other items. And in this next space, excuse me, one moment. Miss Anna K. Powell asked us, can you please repeat when the travel training workshop will be held? Yes. The travel training, the pre-travel training workshop will be held on May 16th at 6 p.m. And we will have the flyers out for that on hopefully tomorrow morning, unless I get it out tonight. So that'll be on me, so I'll eat that. I'm looking in the chat. I know we normally do not have conversation in lieu of, but I want to be able to be incorporative here because there's a lot of spaces that we do need to speak. Miss Wanda Yvette has spoken in regard to the Bronx Parade. With that, are we there yet? We are. We'll come to the Bronx Parade after the Staten Island Fair, and we will go ahead and include what Miss Yvette has said in addition to what Co-President Daniels has to offer to us. For the Staten Island Fair, for 5/3/24. We're working with our legislative officers there. Vice President Christy Montalban will be representing us there, and we are making sure that she has all of the information that she needs, etc. Ms. Montalban, would you like to speak in regard to that fair?
I'm very excited to attend the affair. There's a lot of great resources there. So if you're in the Staten Island area Friday, come on out. There's going to be lots of resources and I would love to see everybody. I believe it starts at 9 a.m. It's at the JCC, which is on 1445 Manor Road, in Staten Island. So I hope, people are able to come out.
And we will definitely support our council and Vice President Montalban with the different items and making sure that we send out the information on social media so that you guys are aware and able to participate as well. Our next item, thank you so much, Vice President Montalban. Our next item is the Bronx Parade on Sunday, May 19th, 2024. And I will hand it over to our Co-President Daniels, who has been attending the meetings and has our updates.
So good evening, everyone. I'm on the committee for the Bronx Day Parade. Along with Wanda, the other parent name is Gloria Chavez and Stephanie Bonilla. The four of us are on the committee. So what's happening right now is that we redoing the registration form, sending it out because by accident, some of the parents signed the other registration form that the Bronx Borough president has sent out. Now that was only supposed to be signed by principals and maybe staff through there. And the form we sent out was supposed to be signed by our parents. So we're gonna please send that out and we're gonna close it out. I think they said in about a week from now. So we're gonna start sending that out probably tomorrow, because we just had the committee meeting today at 1 o'clock virtually. And I know Miss Councilmember Collins has said she was gonna maybe march on the parade, but I will double confirm that. Miss Shanique Butler just stated that if I march in the parade, she would come and march. So that's so far 2 council members, possibly 3. You wanna go 2? And Brisa, so that's 4, possibly going to the Bronx Parade from the council. Oh, Vanessa said she go too. Great, awesome.
Awesome. Yes, that's what I love. I love it. I love it. Let's stand in support.
That makes me happy.
Very much so. If I can interject without stepping over you, I noticed that Miss Yvette wanted us to clarify that it wasn't just the Kennedy Hospital. So I'll read. This is the Rose F. Kennedy Center for Children's Evaluation and Rehabilitation Center. And this is what CERC means. They do evaluations, assessments, and they treat children with developmental and physical disabilities as young as months old to young adults. And they're a part of the Albert Einstein School of Medicine. They are one of the most reputable nationwide organizations working with our population, and they offer a vast array of services for our children and their families. So we are here to stand in support of Miss Yvette, of our council, and any of the parents that may be attached to that particular hospital or need help or access to help in that area. Co-President Daniels, do you have anything further?
I will be at that event that day on the 22nd to help assist. So you already knew that, but I'm just informing the whole council that I will be there.
And in addition, we want to be transparent. We did have a conversation in regard to banners. I know that we voted on members being present for outreach and participating because we would. However, we want to make sure that our banner is used and that there was a space where there were banners being created with the council's name, et cetera, with the President's Council or other District 75 spaces. And in my own opinion, I do believe that we should speak about where our name is used and who owns that and how they use that space. We do have our own banners. There was a banner that was created that said CCD75 and the President's Council, and it was one banner that our council would not be able to manage that could be used in additional places without us being able to say yes or no. So in my space, I did say that was quite inappropriate for the council. We are here to support. However, we do have a banner and that we should vote if we have some level of banner being created that the council does not have access and or control over. Do we have any other feedback there?
Well, I spoke to Ms. Bonda Belinas on the phone. Like I stated earlier, but I'm stating it for the council members for the record and the audience. She stated that the only reason why it was like that, I understand what you're saying, like I told you earlier. The only reason why the banner is made like that, they did not want to exclude our council. Because, about the other thing that happened with the legislative breakfast, we excluded it. That's exactly what she told me. She wanted to make sure we was not excluded when it came to this. Plus the other banner, a different one said districts 7 through 12 for Bronx G75 grants. Now that one, I know you said that's okay. You're worried about the other banner that has our council on one side, President's Council on the other side. And I understand what you're saying about you feel it could be used as a place without our permission, but maybe it just needs to be clarified not to use it or something like that, because I also don't want us to be excluded. I feel like if we take it off, we're gonna be excluded technically also.
Well, we would never be excluded because we have our own banner, a parade banner.
However, this is mostly a Bronx thing, and whoever wants to participate, that's how that is.
Yes, so our banner goes wherever our council members participate. So if wherever you are, if you need the banner, if you need the tablecloth, if you need items from outreach, we will make sure that you are accommodated. Additionally, I did have a conversation with Missy that it was very good, very productive. The council will still stand in spaces of assistance. And there are spaces where she wasn't aware that different councils had budgets where she would not have to come out of pocket to create things that were already created. However, as a regular council member, not.
I used to be president of President's Council. President's Council, which was for 5 years, by the way. I started out as the treasurer, even though we had nothing. We had no funds back then. So I want to know where this President's Council budget is coming from, because I never heard of it.
Okay, so.
Council for five years and treasurer for 1.
Okay. If just from my understanding, as our CCECs, we are not
I don't
uh,
know.
okay. So as CCECs, we are not allowed to raise funds. But president's councils, because they work with PTAs and PAs, both organizations are allowed to raise funds. So the president's councils are allowed to raise funds. They have different fundraisers, things of that nature. I don't want to overstep. I will put it to our resident person from our president's council, Ms. Montalban. Is that's your understanding as well, that they're able to raise monies for PTAs, PAs, and that we are not able to raise monies or have sponsorships, but they do have a budget. Our budget is only what the DOE gives us.
I believe so. I believe they follow A 660, which is the same chancellor's regs as PTAs. So we're under a different chancellor's reg as a
We don't
education.
give them a budget, that's for sure. And that's why we never had a budget for what you call it, like a second language. When they wanted us to have Spanish translation, that was always a problem. Cause they don't have a budget for that either. Unless it's
Well, I don't think you need to have a budget for translation. However, PTAs and PAs are allowed. I don't want to overspeak you. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Co-President Daniels. I didn't mean.
like you said, like PAs and PTAs would. Now that I don't know what's going on right now.
Yes, PTAs and PAs have the opportunity to have bank accounts. Our council will never have that space. We get $25,000 that we budget, period. The president's councils, they can raise as much monies as they want to, the same as PTAs. So they have a different level of budget and fundraising that we will never have access to. And so I did advise Ms. Belinas to not spend her own money when people do have budgets in place to support these efforts. However, we do have our own banners, so that wouldn't be a space where we would need to make another dollar amount or another charge for a person. We can use that in the fair, in the parade, anyone that wants to march behind it. Of course, we're march with us. We want that. But my only consideration was someone else owning a banner that had our council's name and another council's name, and it could be used in any other space. Now, mind you, this is a moot point because Ms. Melendez is, we've spoken, she's making an advocate banner. It's nothing that will be an issue. The parade is moving along just fine. We're working on the flyers. We're working on making sure that we have the space to make sure people are correctly registered with District 75 versus the borough, etc. I know that we don't have public comment in this moment. However, I do see Ms. Stephanie Bonilla, who is the District 75 representative and is also a part of the parade committee for the Bronx, who has her hand raised. Do we have any objection to giving her the floor for 2 minutes?
Oh,
If not, Ms. Bonilla, you do have the floor. You may unmute. Are you able to unmute, Stephanie?
you told Stephanie, yeah. Could she only?
I don't think so. It's not allowing me to. However, Stephanie, keep trying. Text me. Let's figure something out. We'll still give you the floor so you can be able to speak in regard to the committee updates. As we move along until we figure out what's going on and how to clarify things with Ms. Bonilla, if we can move into the town hall meeting, this is a quick update. We have our, Ms. Haleen, do you have the flyer, any flyer? Or
I'll pull it up.
thank you. I do see in the chat, would the President's Council be able to pay for the banner? They do have a budget to be able to pay for it. I am not clear about what their budget is overall. That would be a question that would need to be presented to the President's Council.
Hi, I was
Ms.
able,
Bonilla? Yes, you have the floor.
you said you wanted some clarification
Yes, please.
on which part about the banner?
We figured out the banner with Miss Yvette. She's going to do a mock-up for advocates. where it is District 75 advocates or something of the general nature, where if she does pay for it, she owns that. And it's not using a council's name without council permissions or going through any kind of red or gray tape in that arena.
Well, with discussing the banner, we were gonna, Ms. Wanda and I, we were gonna pay the funds to pay the banner. That wasn't an issue. And for the President's Council, I don't believe that there's a budget, as Ms. Andrea said. As well, I was part of President's Council before, and I don't believe we have a budget for President's Council. But this was just a donation, as well as it goes to certain logistics of how we have planned on how we're walking in the event. So usually last year, how we walked was with the Bronx D75 banner, which it was held with Mr. Kettler, Mr. Hager, and some of the parent leaders. This year, we thought about expanding it as Mr. Kettler walking in front with President's Council and Citywide Council together. Then behind him will walk Mr. Hager with Bronx D75 banner. Then behind Mr. Hager will be D75 reps from District 7 through 12.
Okay.
The
Well,
logistics that Ms. Wanda had spoken to with the team and also with the office of Ms. Gibson.
Okay, thank you so much. So again, council members, we do have our own banner. We've had it for about a year. I just for myself, I am not the full voice of this council. In regard to
We would not be.
I'm sorry. We weren't back on public comment anymore. Did you? I'll let you go ahead and round out. Do you have anything further that you want to add in?
The closing out part that you mentioned, there was a concern of using the banner without permission. This banner will not be used for anything else but the parade, and we could be able to put that on the record with your council and President's Council.
Okay, thank you so much.
Concerns. Thank you.
Okay. So council members, we do have our own banner, so we wouldn't have to put an additional cost on any other members, and anyone who would like to march behind the CCD75 banner could do so. In regard to budgets, I cannot speak to the President's Council budget in regard to anything that they've raised or anything that they have available in their bank account. It would be a conversation that would have to be had outside of this meeting to see if they did want to create their own banner and have that themselves, because we haven't spoken to them in this conversation. So we want to make sure that they have their own voice in response to creating banners, in response to where these banners will be used. But of course, ours will be available and will be used. So we can march alone, or we can also march with someone else with an additional banner that the council will not have access to. And as I heard Ms. Monia say, they're paying the $150 for the banner, and it will be retired after one parade, which I think is not a great use of monies, but that's just my opinion there. Do any other council members have feedback? I don't want to take over the whole meeting. If not, we're going to put that back to Co-President Daniels to continue the meetings, continue feedback, and to keep the council updated. Thank you, Ms. Bonilla. Thank you, Ms. Yvette. We will support you with the flyers, support you with the new links to make sure that our District 75 parents can register with you, and to make sure that they march with us, in the parade on the 19th.
Who's online?
Say it again, Ms. Daniels.
I think you took Claudia Chavez.
Yes, thank you to Claudia Chavez. She is going to be doing the photography for the Mother's and Father's Day event that's coming up. I do not know if anybody has a link there, but if we can quickly do that before the end of this meeting, that'll be great. That's this Saturday with the district, I believe, at 400 First Avenue. If you have your families for mothers and fathers, we are looking to give you a free family portrait to take pictures of the moment and to celebrate you. We'll go ahead and push that out a little bit further. The district has sent it out, but we will send it out again. Thank you to Ms. Chavez for your mock-ups, for your creations, for your participation, and for your willingness, because you have literally been an amazing parent advocate, at least for the 3 years that I've known you. I'm sure it's further than that, but we definitely appreciate you, we applaud you, and we thank you. Moving on to the next item, which is our Chancellor's Town Hall, which will be on May 20th at 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. This will be at PS 94M at P397, 12 Spruce Street. The Chancellor will arrive at 6:30. You guys know that he is in and out. So let's make sure we are there at 6:30. If you have not given any questions, just know that we have 15 questions that are already given to the Chancellor, but you will have room, whether you give us questions via Zoom or you give us questions in person, we will ask those questions on your behalf so that your voice is heard. So please do reach out to us either online, ccd75.org, District 70 or D75 Council at schools.nyc.org, and we'll make sure that your voice is heard to our best ability. Thank you so much, Haley.
If they registered for the town hall the first time, do they have to register again? Like a parent?
Absolutely not. The link is the same, even though we changed the date. So we do have additional members. We have over 150 people that have signed up. We have multiple people that are coming in person, over 90. We have multiple that are going to be online. So it should be a very good session. The link is still the same. We're making it very easy for parents, as we did have to change the date because the Chancellor was indisposed on our original date. Do we have any more feedback for the Chancellor's Town Hall?
No.
If not, we can move on. We spoke about the Kennedy Hospital event, end of the year event. We definitely did speak about that in regard to the masseuse, the 360. We do have majority of the items paid for. Haleen and myself will more than likely have this closed out before in the next 7 days, in the next week. We want to make sure that everything's done, everything's off of the P card, all of the purchase orders are in and paid for, so that we round the year off early without stressing out anyone, especially our AA that we love.
Yeah.
In regard to unfinished business, do we have anything that we may have accidentally overlooked that we may need to speak to on today?
We need to discuss the setup for the time for the end of the year dinner, like who's going to set up
The setup for what?
to set up for the end of the year event. Who's coming over?
Oh, yes. So the setup for the end of the year event, I'm going to make an actual floor plan. We've used this place before, the year before last. Co-chair Montalvan is very aware of the event we're going to use the exact same floor plan. Sasha from the district actually helped us out there, so she will be aware. So we'll have two people who are aware of the floor plan. We will have a physical floor plan, and we will kind of duplicate what we did last year. The only addition and or change will be where we have our photographs in the front of the area and where we have the masseuse situated. So we should be okay there. Our vendor for the food is situated. We just have to close out the masseuse, the photographer. The district has been absolutely wonderful. They're giving us a DJ, and we are literally set.
Do you know if they're getting the same DJ from last year?
I do not, but I can find out. He was really great. So let me talk with Satya and see if it's the same. I would hope so, but if not, I'm very happy that we still have one. But I can definitely confirm if it's the same person or not.
Okay.
Do we have any further questions and or considerations? Do we have, oh, the Office of Language Assessment will be present on 5/15. They're going to come to our calendar meeting so that they can speak to us about the resources that are available and how we can use their office. And if I am correct, that is the remainder of the items that I do have to discuss. Co-President Daniels, do you have anything additional? Yes?
We have to discuss the location of that meeting as well as the June meetings, because I wanna know which one is gonna be Staten Island, or we still going to be 596 in June, like, where's the rest of the meetings, do we know?
Thank you. So for the May, is it the 15th, Haleen, for our next meeting?
She just said,
Yes, yes.
So that was supposed to be that is going to be Staten Island?
we're not gonna have quorum. I know that we're not gonna have quorum.
We
I
won't have,
Yeah.
that's true. And we won't necessarily have a vote. We can have the presentations. So I'll put it toward the council members. How do you guys feel about that? Do we want to do Councilmember Montalban, not to disclude Staten Island, but do we want to push Staten Island to June? I mean, well, we have actually the Bronx in June. So will we do Staten Island in July? How do you feel about not doing it this month versus July?
I mean, if we're not gonna have quorum, then maybe it's better to push it. I don't really know. It might be hard
Okay.
to get school in July, though. I would probably say to push it to September if we're gonna push it, because the summer is kind of,
Wonky.
yeah.
I just want to make sure Staten Island knows we support them and we're not boycotting or trying to move away from it. So worst case scenario, do council members want to have our calendar meeting at 400 First Avenue for the 15th, and then we move on email to see where we have June in the Bronx. So we technically situated. So do we want to move on email in regard to July?
Hmm?
Well, do we want to have our next meeting on the 15th, the calendar meeting, which we will not have quorum? Do we want to have that at 400 First Avenue and not have it at a school?
Which I said, for the first.
Yeah, that's fine.
So the consensus is 400 First Avenue?
That's what they just said, yes.
Okay, perfect. So Haleen, let's move that to 400 First Avenue.
All right, so I'll just have to put in a permit request, and then I'll advise you all. If it's,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And then I know that we do have Principal Syracuse did offer his school for June. So we have that set. Haleen, we'll make sure you have that information to do the permit for that as well.
We have
Otherwise, go ahead.
one, sorry to interrupt.
one.
Okay, all right, got it.
What I do want to bring up business-wise, guys, there's been a lot of spaces where we've had parent retaliation. As we all are doing interventions and stepping into spaces, we know that we have regulations, we know that we have laws, and we know that we have a lot of gray spaces where parents are just not heard. And so we're trying to uplift those voices. We're trying to make sure, I mean, parents are the only people that don't have a union. We don't have anyone that backs us. We have, all of these OSI, school-based investigation, other investigations, but we don't have anyone that holds our hands in full accountability as needed. So as a council and as council members, some of us have been working with CPAC, some of us have been working with different deputies, just trying to figure out how we can make sure as advocates and parents who have not had their voices heard, that we stand in the gap for parents who feel like they are not heard, who feel like they're having a lot of different issues. Now, we know legally there's some spaces we cannot step into, and there are a lot of spaces that we can step into to help parents. And so I would like to make sure that we keep that uplifted as we move forward. With that being said, I do not have anything additional to add to the agenda. I'm looking in the chat. This will be a jam-packed, okay. Special recognition between today and the 7th. Oh, we are celebrating teachers and principals. It's National Teacher Appreciation Day and things of that nature. Miss Yvette did pull that up. So we do want to make sure that we appreciate our principals and our teachers and we say thank you because we know how hard the work is. We will make sure that we celebrate them social media and newsletters and things of that nature. Thank you for bringing that up again. Do we have any other unfinished items or business for the council? Yes.
Yeah. I have a quick question for the nominations for the awards dinner. I know you said it closes out on the 20th of May. Where do we submit those nominations online?
I will send the link to the council members. If you give me a second, apologies. I sent it out to the district first, but I'll send it out, and that was my fault, just moving too fast. I will send it out to the council before this meeting is over, and then you'll be able to make those submissions for that as well.
Okay, thank you.
Council members, do we want, we normally do not take public comment in this meeting, but I do see a parent member with their hand raised. Do we want to take space to receive that?
I'm on as well. Go ahead.
Okay. Miss Benjamin, would you like to unmute?
Hi. Oh my goodness. I don't think my camera's on. Can you even see me? I'm sorry. I am
Yes.
multitasking and I'm low battery and I think it's facing the wrong way. Okay, there I am.
Yes,
Sorry.
we got you now.
You're doing a fabulous job. I enjoyed hearing you from the little I was able to take in. We actually, as parents from P596X, have had a few concerns regarding one of the CEC members that have been sending a lot of emails and text messages directly to us personally, even when we've requested it to stop. And we've sent messages to the CEC and it still continues, sometimes receiving up to 4 messages in one day. And we just need a little help on how to combat that so we can not have that happen, especially upon request with so many parents at our schools and families.
Miss Benjamin, I'm gonna hold up, 0893. That's my number.
Oh, okay, let me see. Hold on, because my phone's dying. Which
Yes.
just said,
And in addition, you can email D75 council@schools.org and we'll respond there. But I am very familiar with things that are
okay,
happening. I've spoken with the president of the PA, and I know that there's a lot going on, and I know that there are ways that we can circumnavigate this and we can make it a bit better because I know on both ends there's tension and there's also positivity in where people want to make it better. So I'm willing to find that link to try to assist both spaces. So,
okay.
and since I haven't heard from you yet, I would love to hear your space, to hear what you have to say, and how we can possibly circumvent and or alleviate this without it being a Band-Aid.
Absolutely. We always want a nice, positive, healthy, strong community working together. So I'd love that.
Absolutely. So please do reach out to me. We'll make sure to stand in support of all of you guys because we love the Bronx. Listen, the Bronx stands up, okay? So we're gonna make sure to support the Bronx on
You
every
definitely-
single end. All right. Okay. Seriously, just email us. We understand the district is also involved, and so we get it. And we're
Okay.
here for you. Okay.
Thank you.
More
All
than
right.
welcome. More than
Thanks,
welcome. More than welcome.
Okay.
Council members, do we have any additional unfinished business?
No.
With that being said, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Oh, we gotta let the interpreters and use terms. The interpreter.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. One moment. Do we want to allow, I don't know whose hands raised. Who's asking? Wanda, is that you? Do we wanna, okay.
That's 2 hands.
Okay, Miss Benjamin spoke, Miss Bonilla, council members, are we okay with, before we adjourn, adding maybe 4 more minutes, giving Miss Bonilla 2 minutes and Miss Diaz 2 minutes, and then we move into adjournment?
This is it, yes, this is it.
Okay, Miss Bonilla, you have 2 minutes.
She's speaking. She spoke first.
Miss Bonilla? Actually, Miss Bonilla has already spoken. Miss Diaz, do you want to unmute and speak? I don't.
Hello, yes. Hi, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to speak. Yes, I love that positivity, Miss Christie. You know, hurt people like to hurt other people. And we here, we're all Black and brown. And we're not here to bring down our sisters. And if you don't want to get emails from any council member from anything, you can always unsubscribe. This is not the platform where to bring this, and we're here to, like you said, we're strong, Bronx strong. If we work together, we put all that energy in working together and bring our schools, our D75 schools, stronger. And our sisters, positivity, happy that some of our sisters actually are getting promoted and going into the councils. And that's all I gotta say. Thank you. Thank you for this time.
Thank you, Ms. Diaz. And we are heavily involved with your family. Some council members may not know. We'll fill you in on the back end. We are supporting the Diaz family in a very tremendous way. We are supporting the Bronx in a very tremendous way. We are supporting a lot of our District 75 representatives in a very tremendous way. And with that being said, we also have Chair Butler, who is also working with Councilmember Brisa to help our District 75 representatives further. So we are, as a council, working diligently to try to resolve a lot of these different issues and try to make it to where we can continue to work together, because it's really hard as parents to advocate and to move through these spaces because it's stressful. With that being said, we'll give our last 2 minutes to District 75 CEC11 representative, Ms. Bonilla. You may unmute.
Good evening. I just wanted to make a last comment, which is a reminder of District 11 Town Hall for the Chancellor. It will be on Monday, May 6th at 6 p.m. I will share the flyer with co-presidents in order for everyone to have as well. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
Council members, do we have a motion? We have a motion to adjourn. Was it seconded?
Oh, like she went already did?
Say it again.
Never mind.
I second it.
All right, we have a motion to adjourn. We are releasing I'm sorry, let me move back. I feel like I might have missed something. So did I miss anything at the table, Co-President Daniels?
I was asking, did Wanda go?
Did Wanda? Missy, go ahead, Ms. Bolinas. You can go ahead and speak. 2 minutes, please, and then we're going to go ahead and adjourn our meeting.
It will be very, very shortly. The reason why we're participating in the Bronx Annual Parade is because the Bronx Borough President has done, the actual Ms. Vanessa Gibson has done a lot, actually more than any other borough president that I know in the entire 5 boroughs. I don't recall anybody giving as much money as she has done for District 75 schools in the entire city. I cannot confirm that, but I know the millions of dollars. The reason we're doing this is because we want to show our appreciation, and we are doing this because we want parent engagement. We want to get everybody as a united front. Being that said, everybody can share my email address, my phone number, because despite all the activities that we do have jam-packed out last week of the 20th. It's gonna be crazy. So I want everybody to be as involved as they can. And let me do a really close up to all, saying a shout out to all the principals, because today is National Principals Appreciation Day. The entire month of May is dedicated to everything pertaining schools. Today is National Parent Physical Education Teachers, and on the 7th is all teachers recognized. So with that being said, I appreciate you giving me the time to speak, but every single one of you can get a hold of me anytime. Thank you for your time.
We thank you, every parent advocate that's joined in, our District 75 representative, and all the parents who are here tonight. We are releasing our interpreters at 7:42 p.m. and we are adjourning the meeting additionally at 7:42 p.m. Thank you for being present. Thank you for council members for showing up. And anything additional, we will continue on our email thread. Our next meeting will be on May 15th at 6:30 p.m. And we do look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you. Have a good evening, everyone.
Good night.